There's a few elements you need for a haunted house to work. I took 3 days and built this haunted house. All of these different things freaking out. Welcome back to Jase, me, the Jase. Now, I'm here at the Sanderson Sisters Museum of Witchcraft. I want to show you something. I built a haunted house for my family. Rach hates haunted houses, hates them to death. She can't handle being afraid. So, let's go inside. Is this crazy white face staring at you with no eyes? Floor to ceiling black paper. This guy stares at you, and I cut off some of the paint right there so his eyes shone at you just from one of them. Now, our tiny home doesn't look that, it's tiny. It's not big, it's kind of small, but I turned it into a haunted house. So, what are the items needed to make a good haunted house? If you want to make your garage into a haunted house, a bedroom, a basement, just one of those easy corner tents, easy up tents that you can drape some black plastic down from, there's a few elements you need for a haunted house to work. 1, darkness, because that's the unknown. We're afraid of the unknown. So if you can have darkness, next, flashing lights, because it gets our heart rate up. Our eyes are trying to see and they're trying to focus and they're looking around and trying to see what's going on. So the flashing lights help a ton. Next, fog. Smoke machine that fogs the place up, because then they see the particles in front of them reflecting the light and refracting the light that's shining off the strobe light. Then, jump scares. Items that you're not sure are gonna jump on you or not. Because if you can have these items that jump out, they're continually waiting and watching. Their eyes are moving around. Now, I guess there's 5. Music. You have to have creepy music. Because if they start singing a happy song, it needs to be drowned out by this intense music that makes them wait and hesitate and try to figure out what's going on. So, I took 3 days, only a few hours each day, but 3 days, and built this haunted house. Now, that's Mr. Bones. What's up, Mr. Bones? So, now, I'm gonna give you a tour of what I built and how I did it and what my thinking was. So if you wanna build a haunted house for Halloween, you can do it very, very easily. This was not very expensive. I didn't have to do all the things I did. It was less than $200. And I can show you ways it could be less than that. Let's do this. So for those drop scares, you've got guys like this guy up here that when they walk by, they drop. And see? So then they freak out and they look down. And then this guy starts crawling towards them. Now, that helps freak them out, get them scared. They start looking all around them. They don't know what's going on. And then I have a little strobe light hidden here, flashing on here with a black light from the ground, shining. So all you see is these hanging eyeballs and little things. So then you have to go through. And then there's more to go through. And then there was water sprayed on the weird little ends of these, so I didn't blow them up all the way. So you go through, touching you and rubbing on you as you go through this nasty thing. And then while they're in here, these chains go like this. And they fall on the ground, they slide after them. They scream. And then this high voltage turns on. These are all LED lit, and it starts going like this. And everyone freaks out again. Now, you always need something floating. You always need some spider webs. So, right here at night, this non-reflective string has these, and I move it like that, and it's just floating. And it just looks really eerie as they're walking through. Now, mind you, this is for young teens. This isn't for like 20-year-olds, right? So they come in, they duck underneath this, and then there's this infrared sensor that goes off, and this gnarly bat skeleton that they can't see because this black light is shining, but the shadow, it goes right underneath his head. So the light doesn't show him until that infrared goes off. He drops down right here in front of their face, and they scream their life away. Now, there's a lot of noise, a lot of craziness. So then I have this window open with a ladder and a little green light out there. So instead of running back through the house of horrors, they exit out here off the ladder and they can leave the crazy haunted house. So, few things. You want things that touch, that just feel weird and feel eerie. You want things that people are naturally afraid of, that they kind of get stuck on them a little bit. You want things that jump and make them go crazy. You want things that drop from the ceiling. You want things that crawl on the floor. Now, how's this all done with a budget? So, here's the cool part. This little guy has that same string. I wrapped it through here. So you pull this way and he scoots that way. Now, I built a command center in the kitchen, right? So, inside my command center, I can pull on this string for a bird to come flying off the stairs. I pull on this string to pull a rat on the floor. I pull on the red string for a pair of eyeballs I didn't even show you that scoot up the wall. And then when they scream at that, I know they're there, and I keep something right here to go. And then they really freak out because not only is it moving, now it's making noise. Then I have this string hanging from the ceiling, right? It goes up, across, and hooks up to the skeleton. So I can stand right here and I have little holes where I can see out. I can see where they're going, and I can pull a string, pull a string, pull a string, pull a string, pull a string. So you don't have to spend all that money on those crazy items that have like a stepping thing and an infrared thing and all that stuff. I just have simple strings. Then I also have little candles, and that's how I built this haunted house. Just some weird decoration things I had hanging around, some weird stuff. This guy's fur reacted with the black light. Anything glow in the dark, when you have a black light, it glows crazy. These little eyeballs that I found in some kid's thing, I put a zip tie on them and I hooked them up on the wall, so they're just staring at you. A big spider, all of these different things. But the full video of this is gonna be on the Ohana Adventure with my family, going through this haunted house, freaking out.